So this is just the color match part. Go ahead and turn this way. This is what I do. For Caucasians, you want to match from the jawline to the neck. And for women of color, you want to go cheek to jawline. That's how you get a good match. Because women of color usually have different variations of color, is that right? Like their cheeks are a little bit darker, a little bit lighter, and then it's vice versa. So you want to match it here. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few colors just to show you what I would do. So that blends in pretty well.
Yes.
What do you think?
That's the P2.
This one's a P2. I don't know if you can turn any more that way. Put it right here. Okay. Now I'm going to put an N2 next to it so that everybody can see the difference. And this is what you would do if you just aren't sure.
The other one was cheek to jaw.
N2. Right. There isn't an N2 in the Secret Agent, but just to give you guys an idea of the color. I put it on the back of my hand. Use your foundation brush. Do you see how much more opaque that is, meaning full coverage, not see-through?
I like that color though. I like that color better. Is that wrong with me?
Nope, it's not. Because this is a good time to just find out what she's
N.
at right now.
Which one's that?
That's the N. I like that.
That's N2.
And what was the other one?
P2. Okay?
Let me see if I have the N2 in a Secret Agent.
Yeah, that would be great. And I'm going to put a Y2 on so you can see the difference.
One thing I had trouble with, and maybe you can touch on this while you're still working.
Yeah.
When I had a spa, and it was all women of color, I had the hardest time matching their foundation, and I'm telling you, when it's wrong, it is so wrong. I was like, I was covering her body, her face with my body, saying, don't look at it, give me a washcloth. It was horrible, but what I have found is that, surprisingly, they're P's.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
P's,
right?
P5s, P6s.
Yeah.
And I started with neutrals and yellows, and when you and it looked like, you know how when you see Shrek, it's that real matte, weird greenish kind of like a. Do you know what I mean? Like his face is just so flat. That's what it looked like. It was horrible. So I'm just letting you know that when you, a lot of times they're P's.
And more Indian and Asian would be more yellow. Asian, definitely yellow.
Brandy, where are you? I'm a Y4.
A Y4. Oh, I could see that.
I can see that.
Yep. See it on her chest?
Yeah, on her chest.
So pretty.
Yeah, she fought with me about
I did.
that
I was like,
too,
that's
by the
not
way.
have a pink. You gotta be kidding me. I got yellow.
Right.
And we did
My
it.
mom
The yellow was
did it,
horrible.
so.
You're good at matching.
So the Y2 didn't look bad either.
That's right. Hey, Susan.
Actually, none of those are bad.
Right, because it's the right shade.
Just reach in and
The
just
two.
Yep.
The two.
You're definitely a
No,
2.
it's a different one.
Because these are all 2s.
Bad did makeup.
The yellow.
Micro?
I'm going to do N.
Yeah, develop.
Yeah. Do you think you have one,
I
Susan?
don't. I don't think I have any of them with me.
So Chelsea, is this what you do?
I haven't even been getting the Secret Agent.
Yeah.
Now I will.
This is what I do if I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Usually just because I'm used to using colors, I can just find the first one. But this is just what you would do if you're not sure.
But could you use the little match thing?
Yeah, but it's not going to be the same as actually putting a color on there. So what you want to do is usually like the darkest color you want to put towards the ear if you're doing a color match like this. Darkest, medium, light. And the reason why is because it's harder for them to see in the mirror further away. So you want to put the darker one further away if you're doing like a 1, 2, or 3 of a P, N, or Y. Does that make sense? Okay.
You can use the chart first to know where to start, and then do a color match.
So since we don't have a Secret Agent in the N2, I'm just going to go with my first hunch, which is the P2, because it still looks really good on her as well.
They're all kind of blending.
The Y, yeah, I can't see the Y. The Y did. The Y
Right.
did too.
They all kind of blended in, huh? So this is where the primer comes in. You want to use about the size of a P or 2 Ps.
It goes on like silk.
It does. Now, you guys know what the primer is? It's clear. This is the natural one. But if you look in the booklet, it's not going to look clear because
Right,
they
it
can't show a
doesn't.
clear color. It looks whitish, so don't get confused. This is the natural. So anybody can use this. What it does is it's going to smooth out fine lines and pores, creating a nice smooth canvas in preparation for your makeup. Keeps it on longer, prevents it from budging and moving, especially if you're sweating or in humid weather.
feels like silk.
And yes, it's a silicone-based primer, oil-free.
Put it on my husband the other night.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
It's amazing.
That's where he made us stop. You'll have to have it if you feel it.
Yeah.
Serious. I didn't care what it did.
Question while you're putting on a primer. I have some people who have rosacea.
Yes.
And they use the green, but
Yes.
then they ask me, am I supposed to use the natural over it? And I usually tell them it depends on how much, like
Right.
if you're only using the green in a couple of spots, like a little area.
Yeah.
But if you're, like I have one girl who's like her eyeballs are the only thing that's not red.
Wow.
But, so she uses the green all over and I say don't, but if they're using it just a little bit, should I tell them to use 2 primers?
Yes.
Which one goes on first?
Clear.
Okay.
If you put the clear on over the green, it's going to shear it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to wipe it off, kind of.
Okay, so
Yep.
clear, then green.
Yep.
Okay.
So just for the sake of an example so that you guys know how the mint primer works and why you would use it, let me show you. If you have redness under the eyes.
Clear one.
Okay, so the green is for redness.
Green is for redness. Green neutralizes red. I'm just going to quickly go over the primers with you guys because I know it can be confusing. So, I mean, use about this much or less. A little bit goes a long way, right? Okay, so I'm just going to kind of put it on a couple little red spots.
Do you use your fingers at the...
I do. I just
Okay,
dig
'cause
right
somebody,
in.
No, I did,
Yeah.
but somebody was like, aren't you going to use a brush?
Some people are picky like that, and then I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter. You know, I'll just use a brush for your sake.
Well, it wasn't it was another spot person. I
Oh,
was just saying,
oh,
I want to
okay.
I want to be professional, I want to do it right, but I
Right.
think my fingers work better with a primer.
A lot of makeup artists use their fingers,
Okay.
from what I've seen.
I just went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Right. But the question would be, would you wash your
I
hands?
didn't wash my hands.
So did you see how that neutralized on her cheeks? Look at that. Don't use it anymore. And just keep blending if it still looks green. It'll blend in. So,
So you said put the green on top of the natural.
yes, if you have serious redness. Because most of the time, any redness or pinkness is actually going to be covered up by your foundation. So don't go overboard with the green.
And so what's the yellow one?
So, yes, the yellow one.
Dark circles.
Dark circles. It's a blue under your eyes. Yep.
But if you use the under a dark circle and puffing exam, you won't need it.
Yep. So for the sake of demonstration, I'm just going to use a hint of this under her eyes so you can see as well. So there's the yellow. It's definitely a yellow.
On top of my under eye circle.
What's that?
On top of my under eye circle stuff I did.
But I can tell a difference. I can tell that you're using that.
Look up towards the scene.
Can you tell a difference?
I can tell a difference.
With a puffiness pen, anti-puffiness?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're just putting on regular foundation?
No, this is the yellow primer. I haven't even done the foundation yet.